Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. Please like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. It is Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and we are here live. Got a lot to talk about this week. If I look a little tired and a little something, I was out in it this week, all week. So I just got home. Literally, I promise you, literally just sat down here in time to go live. That's how close everything ran this week. Otherwise, I'd be doing this from a hotel. So listen, before we get started, I want to thank all our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are today with the sacrifices they have given. All right, Wounded Warrior Project, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. These are the charities of choice. And these, if you want to work with me directly as far as getting mentorship or help or anything like that, you can go over there, pick a service that you want, and I'll give you my direct phone number. Now, here's the deal. Every dime that's made on that Patreon site is doubled, and we donate it to charity at the end of the year. So if you can help us, hey, we thank you for helping us help them. It's great charities. All right, tonight, safety and nuclear verdicts. It's a problem. And I think, you guys, you see a lot of the backstories and you see a lot of the headlines. But tonight, I'm going to try to put them together for you. And what I'm trying to do is say, hey, you guys know we got rid of a couple drivers for doing illegal things. And this is going to show you why. I'm hoping to put this kind of stuff together for you so you understand what your actions or inactions, how they can affect your life and your livelihood. So we're going to go through some of that. All right. Let's see what we got here. First off, let's do a little gas price. Gas prices are down this week to an average of $3.99.6. Now, I will tell you this. I saw gas prices at Love's in a couple locations for $3.80 something. So yeah, it's down 3 cents a gallon. That's a good deal, especially coming up on the summer driving deal. All right, we're going to go to, don't forget, the safety check, road check is May 14th through the 16th. I'm not going to stop hounding you until, you know these dates. Put them in your calendar. Let me tell you what they're looking for as far as I can discern thus far is unsafe movements by a commercial motor vehicle and unsafe movements around a commercial motor vehicle. So they're looking both at four-wheelers and the semis this year. This is what I've discerned from it all. All right, don't forget, hey, first quarter IFTA and state HUT filings are due by the end of the month. So if you haven't done them, let's get on them and get them done and get them over because, they don't go away and they're hefty fines at the end. All right, orders for Class 8 trucks. Class 8s are semis, and the orders were down, according to two agencies that supply that data. But the decline isn't being described as significant. I don't think anybody's worrying about it. I just think there was a lull in it. So I don't think we have a lot to worry about with that. Now, this is something we need to worry about a little bit. National Highway Transportation Safety Administration reports fatality injury uptick in the latest truck crash stats. That's a little concerning. 5,936 people were killed in crashes involving medium and heavy duty trucks in 2022. So right at 6,000 people were killed by trucks. And it goes to show exactly, how dangerous of an industry that we're in. When I put 20,000 pounds on my back, that puts me right at 43,000 pounds on a pickup. So you have to understand you're straining everything with that. And you've got to be careful out there, guys. And this is leading in again to you're not just driving a pickup or a Class 5 truck. You are a commercial motor vehicle. You're going to be treated like a commercial motor vehicle. And, when you are in an accident, they're going to come at you like a commercial motor vehicle. So be aware, pay attention. Let's see, what do we got next over here? Well, we got some pictures of the week coming up. This come in from Nick, and this is kind of an interesting load. It's kind of hard to tell, but once I opened the picture and looked at it, these are railroad crossing signs, and they're all laid over on their side, but that's kind of a cool load. I appreciate Nick sending that in, and it's a cool load. The next one, I think that's for me. Now listen, guys, I want to tell you a little bit this week. This week, I left the house on Monday. I went above Raleigh, North Carolina to Mabin, North Carolina. I come back on Monday to Rock Hill, South Carolina, picked up a load in Rock Hill, ran it to Miami, picked up a load in Miami and brought it back up here, and today's Wednesday. So if you see tired here, that's what it is. This is the I've been driving tired look, and it's a way you're going to look. After you're 34, it all settles down, but in the middle of the week, you're going to look tired. But anyway, that's what I've been doing this week. So I got some stories to tell you here in a second. All right, so this was the load. It was 15,000 pounds going down to Davie, which is 20 miles, part of Miami, 20 miles outside of Miami. Now, this is what I brought back. This truck actually belongs to a friend of mine that went to a Miami boat show, and it was stolen. Yeah, stolen. Right out of the garage of the hotel. They picked it up and was gone in minutes. So they've already stripped all the decals and everything. They were prepping this thing to go away. So this truck, they actually found it because they left the North Carolina tag on it. And anyway, it was in an impound lot down there, and they asked me to go get it. So there it is. I brought it back up and delivered it at 4:30 today. But they say, just so you know, they'll tell you point blank, if you're driving a Honda or a Ford pickup, don't go into Miami, because they'll take it while you're sitting in it. And, and in all honesty, here I am in Bessie with the trailer, and then I put this truck on it, and I felt like a glazed donut at a Weight Watchers convention. I'm telling you, it was something where, now that, just so you understand, there's no parking in Miami. Okay, there's no way to park anywhere. So how this all worked was I pulled up 4.5, was it 4.5 or 5 hours short? 5 hours short of Miami because of the parking situation. And if you want to know where this place was at, it was called Downtown Towing and Impound. So it was downtown Miami. So I pulled up short 5 hours. I got up really early in the morning. Boom, I drove into Miami. I did my drop. I ran over there. And where I had to pick up, it was literally just a small street, and it had a turn lane in it. And I stopped in the turn. There was nothing else I was going to do. I just stopped in the turn lane, got out, and went in and talked to the people and got the truck and come back. But he did guide me down to another side street where I actually was able to load it. But man, I loaded that stuff and I was gone. Because, for me, Miami's not much more than North Cuba. So I was out of there. I wasn't playing games with that place. All right. So that's my story on the truck and how I ended up doing all that. Crazy shit you see out there. Guys, this was sent to me by my buddy Roman. And he actually saw this on the road. And if you guys see stuff like this, send it to me and I'll put it on here. But the crazy shit you see out there is this. Nothing but healthy and delicious kids' meals, ready in 1 minute. Natural life. Underneath of it, it's got 2 hazmat signs that says flammable and corrosive.
Oh,
So, I don't know what they're hauling there for your kids, but, it was just kind of funny. I thought I'd put it on here. All right, let's run over to the room real quick and see who's there. Who we got? All right, we got a Mr. C. Mr. C. Yeah, you sent me a couple emails. I've been on the road, as you can see. I will get back to you. So yeah, so we got Mr. C, we got Kelly, afternoon and evening. We got Stump 118. Yeah, man, we're looking good out there. So Stump 18 looks like he might be. I'm not sure. Anyway, guys, let's get on to this because this is some serious stuff. All right, under the hood tonight. Tax prep complete. Thank you, Jesus. We got a trailer down. And let me tell you about this trailer situation. This is actually on the trailer that I just put $4,000 on. And guys, pay attention to this stuff. If you're running like we're running, every 3 months, you need to be pulling those hubs off and inspecting stuff. Not the hubs, I'm sorry, the drums, the brake and drum assembly on the 12,000 pound. But listen, brand new brakes, 3 out of the 4 magnet clips, the magnet retaining clips on those had failed, had broken, and the brakes failed on the trailer. So when you're doing inspections, reach around and feel the hub. See if you got any heat in them. If you got excessive heat in your hubs, you got a problem in there. If you have an issue where the brakes on your dashboard, the brakes show disconnect or you don't have any brakes, it could be that situation where the retaining clips has failed and the brakes are actually setting down in the drum. So pay attention to that. All right. Trailer down. I ran North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, and back today. And now Mila's going crazy because she's been having to deal with the down trailer and all this other stuff. And she's doing a wonderful job, and I appreciate it. I love her. She's I tell everybody she's my Pepper Potts. So, you know, if you don't have a right hand, get you a right hand, guys, because you can't do all this by yourself. All right, let's see what we got. All right. Oh shit! I keep forgetting I'm adding this. All right, so we've got the van up and running. Well, I will tell you a little secret. The wrap is not quite done because they screwed up the flag on it. Didn't really screw it up. They just misprinted it and it didn't look right. So they're tearing it off and redoing it. And if you didn't know, we're going to, within a 75-mile radius of Charlotte, we're going to be offering roadside assistance to get you up and running. If you get put out of service by DOT for a reason or another, and we can help, we'll come out and help with that. We don't do semis at this point. I don't know that we'll ever do semis. And the reason I started this is because I couldn't get help with the trailers. Nobody would help us. And, you know, a lot of the big techs, a lot of the PJ sales places do not have service. And then Pilot, Loves, TA, they don't want to mess with a Hotshot trailer. So at least around here, we can do something. If you are coming through and you need us, we'll be here for you. All right, so that's that. All right, safety and nuclear verdicts. Here we go. Get your questions ready if you got any, because this is some serious stuff. And it's shocking more than anything else. All right, guys. A Missouri court upholds a nuclear verdict. Blast carrier safety practices. Okay? I want you to understand this. Blast carriers safety practice. When I first started looking into this, I was thinking that the carrier safety practice was terrible. Okay? Absolutely terrible. So I was shocked when I found out what the real deal was. All right, so Great Plains Trucking faces a $20 million verdict over a fatal crash. $20 million. So you're going to be shocked. I wanted to put this back in here again. They're facing a $20 million verdict, and they barred evidence of the motorist's pot use. They barred evidence that the motorist had been using pot. You had one judge actually dissent and say, hey, you know, that should be in there. And I agree, that should be in there. If the motorist was high, either going up on a high or coming down on a high, his driving's impaired. So this is the situation we deal with, okay? You are held to such a high standard, and the courts look at you as a professional driver, that you should, or this particular driver should have maintained control of that vehicle and not hit that car that was sitting crossways in the road. Okay, so give you the heads up. If okay, I want you to think about this. If you're driving down the road, or in this case, the truck driver was driving down the road. He was on his cruise control was on 70 miles an hour. It's raining outside. Now that's the first no-no. Okay. If it's raining outside, you should not be on cruise control, because that's just a bad deal. But anyway, truck driver's on cruise control, 70 mile an hour. Car hydroplanes, gets tapped by another vehicle, spins out, hits the wall, ends up crossways in the road. All right, so now you got the scenario beat out. Truck hits the car, kills the person. Now, here's where the judge dissents on barring evidence from motorist pot use. One judge stepped out and said, hey, that should have been allowed because this particular person is a heavy, heavy pot user. So they didn't, but I guess the point was they could not prove if he was actually high at the time of the crash. Even though the THC was in his system, they could not prove that. So as great evidence as that is, if you can't get the judges to allow you to enter that evidence, it's useless. All right, now, I don't know if you can see this. I hope you can. This is their safety score, guys. This truck had like 93 trucks. In the past 24 months, they had 158 inspections, I think it says. Can you read it? 159 inspections in the past 24 months, had 0 driver failures. Okay. And in those inspections, there was no driver misconduct. They wasn't running their logs illegal, none of that. They did have 3 out of 85. Is it 3 or 9? I can't read it. It's 9 out of 85 inspections had a vehicle issue. But that left them 50% lower than the national average. 50% lower. Think about it. They're 100% lower in their driver category. And they're 50% lower in their vehicle category. Guys, that's a good safety score. But it was actually mentioned in the final report from the Supreme Court that the problem was their safety culture. It wasn't just their score, it was their safety culture. Okay. So the culture is this: it's not only what is said and how it is said, it is how it is implemented. Is it implemented strictly, or is it implemented with a wink and a nod? Oh, yeah, you know. Okay. Understand that. It's not what happened, but also how the company deals with what happened. Okay. So remember this: when we had a couple drivers that were doing sketchy stuff, running illegal, doing bad things, okay, illegal, cut them loose. You got to cut them loose. Get rid of them. You cannot sit with them on your books, man, because you have to show that you took proper steps to rectify the situation. Okay. If you don't, this kind of stuff right here is going to happen to you. Now, I don't know about you, but that little $1 million worth of insurance you're carrying is nowhere near 20 million. You're going to end up like a Rudy Giuliani filing bankruptcy, sitting somewhere begging for money. So let's do this real quick. All right. I gave you the safety score. Among the criticisms that the appellate court leveled at Great Lakes, which echoed the findings of the lower court, safety requirements in the company's CDL manual gave drivers discretion on how closely to follow the rules. And the company had an unwritten, this is your wink and a nod policy, that allowed drivers to go 4 to 5 miles over the speed limit. Okay. So this is what they saw. This is what they just handed $20 million on and kicked out the pot smoking thing. All right. Now, let's see. Do we have comments, discussions? I'll take whatever you want on it. I want to know how you feel about them not allowing the pot situation with the person. With the driver that got killed, how that is fair to anybody. Do you have anything? Let's talk. So I know that when we terminated the contracts of 2 drivers, you guys were here for one of them. One of them was quietly done, and the other one I had to make a point with. But when these 2 guys were let go, they were let go because of their illegal activity. And because of that, you have to realize that I'm on the hook for it. If I allow illegal activity to happen and do a wink and a nod, then if you kill somebody and I haven't addressed it and I knew about it, yeah, it's on me. I mean, you're going to get sued too, but it will be on me. And I don't want to, I don't want to be a part of that. And that's why I'm so strict with the rules. And I have very little tolerance for people that just want to abuse the rules or try to skirt the rules. They're there for a reason. All right. So we have questions, comments. We have a low country comment. I see it over here. See, I've been reading the side on you got me over there. So low country says he passed me on 77 in Columbia this week. Let me tell you something, guys. It was like old home week out there. It was crazy. I saw drivers, some that I'd never want to see again, but I did see a lot of guys that I really, really enjoyed working with. I saw Jason out there. Who else? I don't even remember who else, and I'm sorry. But had a guy come up to me this morning in the truck stop and said, I set up my cab book just like you told me to, and it's worked for me every time. And, I love hearing stuff like that. And this guy's a hotshot, but he hauls boats. He runs the coast hauling boats. He said, I knew that truck somewhere. I knew it. So it was a really good trip, man. I really enjoyed it. It's craziness. But yeah, so what do we got? All right, what is the most common infraction that makes drivers step over the line on infringement? Okay, so personal conveyance is the big one. Running your clock illegally is another one. Robert, missing your it's going to be missing your 30-minute break, running over your 14, running over your 11, the load securement issues, those kind of things. These are the things that, well, let me just tell you this. I rolled in, and hey, guys, everybody that's running my cab book that knows, don't do this. I did this, and I got lazy. That's all it was. I got lazy, and when I got my new cab card this year, I did not pull they no longer give a registration in North Carolina. So I did not pull the registration, the old registration. Officer comes out at the scout house, says he wants to see, and I handed it to him, and he said, we're going to have to pull you over because this registration's expired. And I smiled. I said, they don't give that one anymore. I said, the cab card's 2 pages back. And he looked at it for a second. He said, well, you didn't tell me that. And I said, well, it's on the piece of paper. I'll leave a list of what's where on the piece of paper. So right outside of it so they can just flip through it. But anyway, yeah, don't get lazy and do that. But Robert, those are the those are the main things that drivers will step over the line and do. Most drivers normally don't speed, and not only do you, for this example, not only do you pay with the risk of getting a speeding ticket and losing your license or paying huge fines, but you're going to pay in fuel, because I'm going to tell you guys now, as a commercial motor vehicle loaded, you shouldn't be running 70 miles an hour. I run 68, and I sit in the right lane and run 68. So at least on my Ram, the sweet spot is 16 to 1800 RPMs, and that's where I get my best gas mileage, is right there, and I can't do 70 at that speed. So yeah, Robert, I hope that asks. Hey, ask again, man. If you got something else, please bring it. What we got? Funny, the FMC has drivers, registers, and assigned to a third-party random drug test schedule with a consortium. Doesn't apply to the rest. No shit. Yeah, Mr. C, I understand what you're saying. It's one of those things where, if everybody else had to take a drug test, but that's why they hold us to this standard that's well above where it needed to be. A second part of that lawsuit that the Supreme Court noted in it was that the driver did not take the truck off of cruise control. And I tell my drivers, don't run cruise control in the rain, because you're going to be able to feel anything weird in that truck a lot faster than the computers will. And, he never shut it down. He was going into a sharp curve. He run this route all the time, so he knew the route. He never took it off of cruise control, and he hit that car that was sitting in the middle of the road. And they're saying that's his fault. It's a shame, but that's what's happening. And in a pickup, it goes to say, don't set anything on cruise control, because you get distracted easily. Next thing you know, you hit somebody at 70 mile an hour, and then what? And there you are. Okay. All right, guys. We hit this thing pretty good. Mr. C, I'm going to look through my emails, double check everything, and I will call you shortly. I got 230 emails I got to look at here in a minute. But if anybody needs me, please reach out. I will absolutely get back to you as soon as I can. I just happen to be on the road this week. I got to run to Colorado in a week, so I'll be out on the road then. Now, you'll definitely catch me in a hotel on a Wednesday going to Colorado, because I'm not going to make that run. But yeah, so listen, like, subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. If you need me, please reach out. We will do whatever we can to help you. And yeah, love your family. It's all you got. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and have fun with it. We will talk to you mañana. See you.